So I was just thinking about which Star Wars characters would I really not want to see using a lightsaber? Maybe a strange question, but I come up with strange questions like this for some reason. And at first I was going to just pick, like one character from all the movies, but then I thought, I think I can pick out one from each movie, if not more. I really could pick out multiple people from each movie who I really think shouldn't use a lightsaber. And a lot of the movies actually have already had characters use a lightsaber that I didn't want to use a lightsaber. Namely, I didn't want Yoda to use a lightsaber or Palpatine. Those are the big ones. Am I missing anybody? Probably. There's probably other characters. But they're Force users. I'm talking about just all characters, where if you just sit back and imagine this character using a lightsaber right now, you just be like, no, don't give that to that person. That's horrible. Anyway, so, the types of thoughts I have. Okay, so I'm going to go through the movies one by one and tell you which characters I think should definitely not have a lightsaber. I'm going to start with episode 1. And you might be thinking, well, that's probably the most obvious movie to start with because I'm sure a bunch of you are screaming into your screens or into your phones right now. Well, that's obviously Jar Jar, right? Well, no, that's actually not who I was going to say there. I'm sure a lot of you would. You can put that in the comment section. I think it might actually be a little entertaining for him to use a lightsaber. And I'm not even talking about the whole Darth Jar Jar theory or anything like that, but if you think about him on the Battle of Naboo and with those like blue ball thingies that, he has all his accidents and stuff, I think he could have some comical accidental lightsaber moments if he had that. But yeah, anyway, I know a bunch of you are cringing right now at that thought, but that's my take. So, person from episode 1 I don't want to see using a lightsaber is Sio Bibble. So he's the governor of Naboo. He's the one that's telling Queen Amidala, oh, you must contact me and all that. That would be horrible. I do not want to see this like boring, politician dude with a lightsaber. That would just be ugh. Imagine it. No, no, no. Not a good fit for him at all. Now let's move to episode 2. I've selected 2 people for this because they're, anyway, I couldn't choose one over the other. So episode 2, I selected Tan Wei and Shu Mei as the characters that I do not want to see using a lightsaber. So those are the Kaminoans that grew the clone army, where Obi-Wan goes there and visits them and has his run-in with Jango Fett. But nah, that's nope. I mean, for one, they're on this planet with water everywhere, and water and lightsabers, and I don't think that's really a good match. But I can't imagine either of them using lightsabers. They talk so slowly and all move very slowly and gracefully, and it would be like the slowest lightsaber moves ever. So I don't think that would be that great. Episode 3, okay, you're probably not going to guess this. Episode 3, I selected Baby Luke and Leia. Okay, so they can grow up and use lightsabers, but no, I don't want to see Baby Luke and Leia using a lightsaber. That's maybe an obvious one, but anyway, that's my episode 3 selection. Episode 4, I have selected Owen and Beru Lars. That would not be appropriate. I mean, especially Uncle Owen is, he's calling Obi-Wan the crazy old wizard and all that. And they're just really down-to-earth people, and lightsaber's not a good fit for them. Although, it would have been interesting to see, maybe they could have fought off the stormtroopers that killed them, tragically in that film if they had lightsaber. But I just can't picture them, either of them, with that. That's another case where I couldn't really choose just one of them. It really has to be both of them. Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, I selected Lobot. So Lobot, Lando's assistant, with that machine kind of attached to his head. Imagine Lobot with a lightsaber. That's not really happening. He's like, Lando's aide. I can't imagine him with a lightsaber. Return of the Jedi. Okay, Return of the Jedi oddly was the most difficult movie for me to just select one Or two, you know. I kind of cheated. I had two characters in some of the previous films. Anyway, there were a lot of characters. I just thought, no way, no lightsaber for them. But I decided on Bib Fortuna. It's just kind of, yeah, his mannerisms and stuff. Like, imagine his kind of mannerisms and the way, like, he talks. He has that, like, little snarl and stuff, and with the lightsaber. Although I know, like, Palpatine makes weird noises and stuff. So maybe you could argue some of it's comparable, but I don't know. I just can't picture that. And for Return of the Jedi, I'm going to give a few honorable mentions to other characters. And my honorable mentions are Salacious Crumb, you know, that little monkey guy, Cy Snoodles, the singer, and Nien Nunb, I can never pronounce that, the guy that flies with Lando toward the end of the movie. Now, imagine any of them with a lightsaber. Nah. Okay. And finally, Force Awakens, I just said Unkar Plutt. So, yeah. No lightsaber for him. Just for Rey. That's okay. But those are my thoughts, and I know there's plenty of other obvious characters that, and, you know, plenty of less obvious characters too, that be kind of ridiculous imagining them wielding a lightsaber, but these were the ones that popped into my head, and I stand by my argument that it would actually be entertaining for Jar Jar to have a lightsaber. And the same thing would apply to the Ewoks too, because thinking of how kind of resourceful the Ewoks are in Return of the Jedi, I think they could probably do something entertaining with a lightsaber too. So, there, I've just stirred up some controversy, kind of saying that Jar Jar and the Ewoks could be interesting, especially with a lightsaber. So, feel free to discuss.